Story holds 1,000 seeds, a proverbial pomegranate, a jewel of possibilities, a not so silent planet.
So, for our first performer tonight is a legit local published sci-fi and fantasy author who has been generous enough to grace our stage with whatever he happens to be working on many, many times over the years. And very pleased to open our virtual stage to him again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to your living rooms, Michael Merriam.
Thank you, Philip. Ship's log, common date 04.25.679 AHD. We had barely finished our flyby of the L-84 Nebula when Mother summoned the elders to main control and sent out an alert notice to the crew. All the elders exchanged long looks. I remained outwardly calm, unruffled, as a good first elder should. If there was an emergency, panic would not serve us. In main control, each elder settled at his station as duty and the manual instructed. Once the elders were in their proper places, I triggered the alert chime and spoke the traditional words. All stations report. Each elder, as his department within Mother contacted main control, responded. Astrogation, communications, engineering, medical, others, all addressing second elder Canute, who at the end turned to me to report all stations ready. I pushed the second button on the command chair and Mother illuminated the holo display. We stared at it for several seconds. Second elder Canute cleared her throat, turned to regard me with wide eyes. All the other elders held their breaths, waiting for me to speak. Mother had found a new planet, a planet uninhabited and able to support us. I gave the order to change course, hoping my voice did not waver, even as the fear of what this meant rolled in my stomach like burning acid. What would happen to us? Personal log, First Elder Yuri Suleimani, common date 04.26.679. I sit in my quarters watching the darkness outside my viewport, a darkness which has held us close all our lives. How can we leave the only home we have ever known? Mother has nurtured us for over 30 generations as we've traveled among the stars. To step away from the safety of her middle womb? Mother loves us, and we love Mother. I know this would seem unbelievable to our forebears. A new world was always the plan. Now Mother has discovered one with everything we need to live and thrive and build, one without its own native civilizations, so we will displace none even as we colonize a new world, a place for the last of humanity to try again. Yet, we have no memory of living groundside. We have always glided among the stars in Mother's embrace, but even with Mother's extensive hydroponics and all her reclamation and recycling technology, we cannot stay among the stars forever. The air scrubbers are failing. The water cells produce less and less of the life-giving fluid with each yearly cycle. We are at a crisis point, and Mother is old. She was never meant to sustain us indefinitely, and she is tired. Mother has carried us safely all these centuries, nurtured us in our journey among the stars, and we need to fly the nest so she may lay down her burdens and rest at last. Tomorrow I must notify the ship's crew and populace. Mother is massive, but nothing stays secret long. And while third elder Valise and seventh elder Patel argued passionately that this news, this revelation, would destabilize all we've built, cast our society into chaos and send the populace into a panic, a new planet was always the plan, even if too many of our people have forgotten. Ship's log, common date 04.27.679 AHD. Let it be known on this date, 04.27, 679th year after the human diaspora, I, First Elder Yuri Suleimani, informed the populace and crew of an uninhabited planet capable of supporting human life, and in accordance with General Order 3, did set a course to rendezvous with this planet, there to establish a settlement of the survivors of the human diaspora on a new world. Ship's logs, including star coordinates of the planet, have been transmitted on coded frequency to any Earth generation ship that might yet survive. So ordered, Yuri Suleimani, First Elder. Personal log, common date 0504679. We are only 2 days travel from the planet. I've studied the chronicles the elders who came before left to guide us, to tell their story. When humanity reached the stars, we found no angels, no gods, no heavens of verdant fields greeted us, only a vast expanse of blackness surrounding small bits of furiously blazing fusion. But there's so much beauty in each distant point of light, and I do not understand why any would trade stars for dirt. Still, what is dirt but the stuff of stars? What are we but the stuff of stars? We are all born of the great cosmic event, galaxies, stars, planets, us. Tomorrow we shall pass close enough to get our first look at our new home, and I must remember, though we bind ourselves to a place, this does not mean we have given up the stars. As long as we safeguard the knowledge Mother carries, I feel within a few generations we shall return to the stars. I believe this. I must believe this. Ship's log, common date 0507.679 AHD. Today, Mother introduced humanity to its new home. It is a glorious sight to behold, this marble of greens and purples and whites and grays floating in the vast darkness. And at the same time, it is utterly unremarkable when compared to other planets Mother has surveyed. Fourth planet from its young star, it is slightly smaller than lost Earth, with an orbit that will give it a shorter calendar year. Its rotation is longer than an Earth standard day at 25.5 hours. It has one natural satellite. There are oceans, they are violet, and they cover 65% of the surface. There are 4 continents. Mother has launched a pair of probes to better determine our landing zone. My finger hesitated over the button that would feed the image of the planet to every viewing screen aboard Mother. I knew once I pushed that button, there would be no going back. Once seen, it would be real to everyone. The Council of Elders have decided we shall safely orbit in Mother's womb for at least another month while the probes study our new home. Personal log, common date 0514.679. Predictably, the populace is divided. According to the senior administrator, most are, if not eager to settle and explore, at least understanding that Mother's years are numbered. There is a faction who argues we should focus on healing Mother. Others wish to explore more stars and more planets. I understand their fear. The changes are coming and they want to hold on to tradition. What those groups want, though, sadly, is moot. The air scrubbers in sections 22 through 31 on levels C through F failed mid-watch. We've evacuated, but the water cells in those sections will need to be shut down as well. Mother is dying, and we must land on the planet below if we are to survive. Humanity flung its survivors among the stars, and now we face the consequences of our ancestors' choices. As for my own family, they all seem excited to start a new life on a new world. I hope that enthusiasm survives reality. Ship's log, common date 06.01679 AHD. After nearly a month of surveying, Mother has recommended a location to build a settlement. Final preparations have begun for the landing. Mother has cracked it and explained our immunizations to medical and science teams and created protocols for decontamination when we return to Mother from scouting missions. Our scientists have assured the populace the fresh water is drinkable, and they have identified several native fruits and vegetables and grains safe for our consumption. We have the advantage of Mother's technology and will be able to sustain ourselves from Mother's supplies and hydroponics until we are able to grow our own food and build our own shelters. There are large predators and smaller animals that we will need to study and plan to live alongside. Cataloging and understanding the local fauna and flora will be the life projects of any number of scientists. All the elders are urging their departments to ready Mother's aging systems for the strain. Entering its atmosphere will be a perilous undertaking for a ship Mother's size and age, and though Mother has declared all of her safety systems and her heat shielding functional, the third elder's engineering teams have also walked outside on Mother's body to inspect her skin and the heat shield for the slightest sign of damage or decay that might jeopardize re-entry. As Mother has cared for us, we care for Mother. Personal log, common date 0605.679. Tomorrow, humanity returns to living on a planet. With most preparations complete, elders, crew, and populace are spending these final hours in whatever prayers, meditations, and celebrations they see fit. I expect an explosion of births approximately 9 months from now. I decided to roam Mother's corridors and access tubes. While I know Mother will be with us on the planet, neither Mother nor I will ever again watch the birth of a nebula or the death of a star system as we glide silently through the black. I found myself stopping at the quarters where I was raised, deep in Mother's metal belly. I touched the door and wondered who might live there now. I visit environmental services, my first duty posting as a crew cadet, assigned the unglamorous job of waste reclamation. I have decided once Mother and the lives she bears, the lives I am responsible for, are safe on firm ground and the colony settled, I shall resign my position as first elder. I hope whoever we become in the future, we do not repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, are better stewards of this world. I think we shall be. I hear my darling Zora in our sleeping room. She's calling to me with that tone in her voice, the one that makes me think she might be interested in becoming a mother to some of the first of a new generation born on soil. Ship's log, common date 06.06.679 AHD. Today, what might be the last of humanity returns to living on soil. Today, we aliens to this new planet cast our fortunes to her ground below. I, Yuli Suramani, first elder, do so order the landing this day, 06.06, 679th year after the human diaspora. Final ship's log transmitted. Colony Chronicle, 0101, year of the landing. First elder Yuri Suleimani recording. We survived the landing with only a few minor injuries, and though Mother will never fly again, she survived even as she brought us to our new home. The final decision on who would be the first to step into this new world was simple. I am still first elder, and for now it is my responsibility to lead by example. With my extended family around me, we waited for the airlock to cycle and the ramp to rest on the ground, dressed in what Mother assured us was appropriate attire for something called a mild early spring afternoon. The airlock opened and we paused, taking the fresh alien air into our lungs as our noses filled with unfamiliar smells. Mother has settled us in a valley. The grass is green, tinged light purple, the sky a dark blue, filled with puffy gray-white clouds, and it is so wide and open. Near the future settlement site is an emerald-colored lake, and all of it is surrounded by a distant snow-covered mountain range. For a long moment, I stood at the top of the ramp, senses overwhelmed by the strange sights, sounds, and smells. At last, I felt Zara grasp my hand. I smiled at my wife, turned my eyes back to face what awaited us. I gently squeezed Zara's hand. We could only move forward, and so we did, into this world Mother has gifted us. End recording.
All right, let's keep it going for Michael Merriam.
Yay!
Michael.
Nice work, man. So, Michael, do you have anything coming up or any place people can find you or your work online that you would like to spout out to this room full of people?
Well, in theory, if we're able to actually get together next autumn, I'm supposed to be guest of honor at Diversicon,
Hey.
which is in August. We'll see what the pandemic holds at that point. Wear your masks, people. But otherwise, you can just go to my website, michaelmerriam.com. You can get my books there. There's some free stuff. There's some free stories. I have a YouTube page that my wife and I share, The Merriams, which has some storytelling stuff on it and some performance things on it, if you're interested. And I should have out sometime next year a standalone novella that goes into my steampunk series, the Steampunk Weird Western series that I'm writing. So we'll see if I can get that out by next year.
Awesome. And feel free to send out any of those links via the chat if
Thanks.
you're so inclined.
I will do so.
He holds 1,000 seeds, a proverbial pomegranate, a jewel of possibilities, a not so silent planet.